Hello. Today I have the good fortune of being joined by Dr. Michael Friebe, who is famous in two countries, the United States and Germany, and also in Europe. And Michael, how are you today?
Very well. How about you?
I'm good. Are you and your family are staying safe and unaffected?
Yeah, we're in our home in Germany, so we're kind of locked up as well. But the lockup is a little bit relaxed because I think maybe that's a good or bad treat. Looking at the past, the Germans are pretty uh, good at following orders. So the orders stay at home and keep distance, and that's what we do.
What's the mood in Germany?
You know, it's interesting. I mean, there is obviously some fear that the virus would swap over, but in essence, from the for the economy, there we don't have that much of a problem at the moment. Unemployment is not rising at all because we have a special program by the government that covers these people for up to a year, and so I think it's just basically 2020 is lost. That's kind of like the thinking process, and everybody wants to be slow of returning. So they're not that eager about getting everything immediately running back up and then having a setback later on.
Now, in the United States, we have a program, a grant program that uh, the government will give small business 2.5 times your monthly payroll and rent. Do you have a similar program in Germany?
It's a little different. What we get is we get a grant, an immediate grant, and then we can apply again. We can put all of our employees. We can basically declare unemployed. It's not really a complete unemployment because if we stay on the payroll, but the government will take over 67% of the salaries for up to a year, and that saves obviously enormous amount of cash to the companies, and will also ensure that people are staying employed.
Is there stress on the healthcare delivery network?
Well, Germany seems to be pretty well off. I mean, we have a lot of emergency beds that are still available. So there's a lot of Europeans, French, Italians that send their patients over to Germany. They have been very strict about not doing any surgeries, any electable surgeries, any things you can delay. We don't seem to have too much stress. So there's a lot. 40% of the emergency beds are still open. And we have a decline now, so we don't expect that they will be filled. So that's why we are opening them up for other countries as well.
So what about the price of oil? Does that impact what's Germany in any way?
Now, Germany has been, even though we're not the sunniest country in the world, it's very sunny at the moment, by the way, but we have put an enormous effort in renewable energies. So there's a lot of wind energy and solar energy, and coal and oil has been, largely set back, at least for energy production. Now, cars obviously still need to run, but we have a lot of government subsidies to stimulate you to buy hybrid cars or electric cars. We have actually bought one as well. And people don't drive at the moment very much anyway. So I don't even know what the oil price is, to be really honest. So it doesn't bother me. And I can always speak for myself, however, at the moment.
Now, do you find yourself with more free time or less free time?
My time is more structured, because if you don't structure your time, you're screwed. Because then you get lazy, you get up late. You need to get up early and do something and basically have a good time management. And so my day is basically planned through from the morning, and I do some workout, and then we actually do very late breakfast, lunch, like close to noontime. And then I usually work 2 hours very strict in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and I see what happens. And then I have a lot of calls in between. But I try to stay off the cell phone and stuff in these 2 hour periods.
Right. What do you think the long-term impact will be on healthcare, the coronavirus?
I think, that's very socialistic what I'm saying right now. So maybe the US is not the right country for that. But I believe that we need to go to a really socialized system in healthcare. I believe that health is a right rather than a privilege. And I think that we have to actually take care of people who cannot afford all these expensive devices. and medicine, and actually feel covered by the government in certain aspects. So I'm a firm believer in socialized medicine. So that will change. I also will believe that we will dramatically get more investments in prevention models. We will also get probably more investments done in healthcare monitoring at home, so that we will not, be dependent on the medical system and the hospital, treating you when you're sick, but having the focus on actually keeping you healthy rather than only treating you when you're sick. And I think this is the main focus, and we need to probably dramatically improve the cost, dramatically reduce the cost, and we'll be bankrupt. All of us will be bankrupt. So I think that's the huge effect this corona has on democratizing healthcare.
Repeat that last part, because you broke up. You want to dramatically...
I think will have a dramatic effect, the corona, on democratizing healthcare, to make it available for everybody. Reduce cost, keep the quality up, shift some of the healthcare delivery from acute care into home care. I think there's a lot of things that will happen, and good things that will happen.
Michael, you have a lot of experience, and I appreciate you spending time with me. Before you go, what do you think the impact will be on trade shows?
I just can give you one quick example. I was participating and actually also actively contributing to an online conference called Exo World with 3,000 people online, and it was an awesome experience. Great talks. You can listen to them later on. You could have breakout sessions. You could network and interface with people based on an AI algorithm that matched you with people that had the same interest. It was really cool. So I believe that 8 out of the 10 conferences that I typically go to a year could be done virtually, digitally, probably even better than in real life. There's a couple left, like RSNA, for example, where you really go for touching and feeling and having separate meetings, and that couldn't be done digital and shouldn't be done digital. But a lot of the smaller conferences, I think that will have a huge impact on that.
Well, thank you very much for spending time with me. It's an honor to have you, and I look forward to seeing you in person, maybe at the European Radio Congress.
All right.